Hi, all my Chemmaster official YouTube channel followers. Hope you all preparing well for upcoming chemistry examinations. So here in this video, we are going to analyze the most important topic, that is 18 electron rule. And we all know that 18 electron rule has great importance in various chemistry competitive examinations. And I can say that in every exam, if we get the question on 18 electron rule, more than 90% of aspirants or students fails to find the correct electron count for the particular given complex. What is the reason? Here we can say that we have lots of ligands which can coordinate to the transition metal in its complex. Okay, so that's why each and every ligand can contribute electrons or valency electrons differently from other ligand. So that's why we can get the confusions, right? And due to having lots of ligands, then is it easy to remember all ligand contributions, or is it necessary to remember all ligand contributions in electron counting and in the way of deciding the particular metal complexes as 18 electron or not? What is your answer? Absolutely no. Because if you have a proper concept on 18 electron rule, there is no need to remember the ligand contributions. So by just applying the concepts, we can give how many electrons can be contributed from the ligand to the total valency electron count of that particular metal complex. Okay, so here we have two methods in the way of counting electrons, and before that, all of organic compounds have carbon center, and we know that all organic compounds follow 8 electron rule, because the carbon has valency orbitals s and p, and we know that the contribution is 4 orbitals, and we know that each orbital contribute or can be filled with 2 electrons, so 4 into 2 8. That means the carbon center can be saturated with 8 valency electrons around it. Okay, and it will become stable, right? So like that, if we look at transition metal complexes, the most diamagnetic stable organometallic compounds are having 16 or 18 valency electrons in their complexes. Okay, and when we compare 16 and 18, 18 is the most abundant. That means most of the transition metals are with 18 electrons, and they are saturated and they are stable enough. Okay, and some exceptions are there with the 16 electronic valency electrons and they are stable. We can see here. And how these transition metals are following 18 electron rule or 16 electron rule? Simply here the addition of x, here we can say the d orbital. So here the total orbitals are 5 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, so 10 orbitals are there. Okay, so then here here we can say that the total electrons are 18. Okay, total valence electrons are 18. If a transition metal complex surrounded by 18 valency electrons by the contribution of ligands, then that metal complex is considered as saturated metal complex. For example, if a complex is having less than 18 electrons or 18 valency electrons, then we can call it as unsaturated organometallic compound or transition metal complex. Okay, if it is having more than 18 electrons, then we can call it as supersaturated. Okay, right. Now here we can see that the electron counting is the process of determining the number of valency electrons about a metal center in a given transition metal complex. Okay, so just remember that the early transition metals with electrons in d orbitals from d3, d4 and d5, all these metals or transition metals in their complexes exhibit 16 electrons and 16 electron contributions or valence electron contribution for the complex, and they are in coordination of ligands more than 6 or greater than 6. Just remember that the transition metals with valency electrons in its d orbitals like d3, d4, d5 or most of the cases are 16 electron complexes, and those 16 electronic complexes are having the coordination more than 6. That means more than 6 ligands are coordinated to those complexes. Okay. Now if you look at middle transition metals from D6, D7 and D8 metal complexes which obey 18 electron rule in more common, and the coordination number of ligands almost 6 here. Okay, and if you look at the late transition metals from D9 and the D10 valency electrons in their d orbitals, those metals in their complexes exhibit 16 valency electrons. Okay, and the most probable coordinations are 5 or 4. Okay, we can see in this late transition metals, so like platinum, if you look at the platinum and palladium, in which these metals are in most cases are square planar 4 coordinated complexes, and they are stable with 16 valency electrons only. Okay, so like this we can see some exceptions for these 18 electron rules. Okay, now the most important case here in this video, we are going to learn the ligand contributions to the metal. Okay, so here we have two methods. One is ionic method, okay, and another one is neutral electron count. Right. So here most of the aspirants gets confusion by just mixing ionic electronic count and neutral electronic count while counting the electrons to find the given complex is 18 electrons or not. Okay, so here just remember that if you apply ionic electronic count, just to go with ionic electron count only. So don't add or mix a neutral electronic count. If you go with neutral electronic count, just apply neutral electronic count completely to that particular complex and give the total electronic count. Don't mix these two and don't get the confusion. Okay, now here just look at consider the metal, right? And just look at here, 18 electron rule deals with valency electrons only. Just remember this word. Okay, just remember this sentence and then apply the contributions of metal and ligands towards their electronic counting. Okay, now so if the metal is connected with ligand, we need to look at the valency electrons of metal and also valency electrons of ligand. Okay, now just look at the most common or most general connection or coordination with the metal. Transition metal is the carbon, right? We know that carbon has the valency electronic configuration as here we can say Ns2 and Np2. Okay, right, and in its excited state, which can be shown as Ns1 and Np3, right? So each orbital is filled with one electron. Okay, right. Now if an element is coordinated with the metal directly, then we need to count the valency of that particular atom or element to the total valency electron count. So here the carbon valency is 4, right? The general carbon valency is 4. That's why if the carbon is only direct connected with the metal without any other groups or other bonds on carbon, then we can say that here carbon can coordinate with the metal with four bonds. Okay, right. And in this case, you can see that carbon is coordinated with the metal through its 4 electrons, and these 4 electrons are paired up with the 4d unpaired electrons of the metal. Okay, and we know that carbon is more electronegative than metal. That's why the 4 electrons of the metal, the d orbital electrons of the metal, or drags or simply moves towards the carbon. That's why we can say -4 on the carbon. So this is about ionic electron count. Just listen carefully. Okay, so just remember that the acceleration state, so here the acceleration state on the ligand is only observed whenever that ligand contribute unpaired electrons in the coordination or in coordination with the metal complexes. Okay, for example, if the ligand coordinate with the metal through one unpaired electron, then that ligand has -1 acceleration state here in ionic electronic count. If it contribute 2 unpaired electrons to the metal, then that ligand with -2 acceleration state. If it contributes 3 unpaired electrons, then ligand with -3 acceleration state. I hope you understand. Okay. For example, if the ligand contribute or just makes a coordination bond with the transition metal through lone pair of electrons. So lone pair of electrons of the ligand directly coordinate or just occupy empty d orbital of metal. That's why here there is no possibility to drag the electrons because it is only donating electron pair. That's why the ligand is considered as neutral ligand. Okay, right. And just remember these important sentences. Now just come to the point of carbon here once again. Okay, so if elemental carbon is directly connected with metal or just makes a bond with metal, then carbon valency is 4. And here we need to look at the electronegativities. We know that carbon electronegativity is more than the transition metals. In this case, electrons drags towards the carbon, and carbon must be with -4 acceleration state in ionic electronic count. If we look at the neutral electronic count, so we are not going to consider the acceleration state, only how many electrons are contributed in the making of coordination bond with the metal. That is only needed to consider for the total valency electrons. So here the carbon is contributing its 4 valency electrons. So that's why we can count 4 electrons from this elemental carbon in the neutral electron count. But in this case of ionic electronic count, 4 electrons of the carbon plus the 4 electrons of the metal. So total 8 electron contribution. Just understand the concept. In this case, the carbon is with -4 oxidation state, formal oxidation state. Okay, now just look at the next case. For example, carbon is having a sigma bond with a particular alkyl group. Now, which can coordinate with the metal through its 3 unpaired electrons only. And then the 3 electrons from the 3 d orbitals of the metal make a bond with 3 electrons of carbon. In this case, what if you say in ionic electron count, these 3 electrons just moves onto the or just reside on the carbon. So carbon with a -3 acceleration state. In this case, it will contribute 6 electrons in ionic electronic count. If you look at the neutral electronic count, what do you say? Simply 3 electron contribution is there. Now, for example, if carbon is connected with 2 alkyl or 2 other any groups, in this case, 2 unpaired electrons are contributed to make a sigma bond with these groups. In this case, if the carbon is only having 2 unpaired electrons. Okay, so in ionic, these are 2 unpaired electrons are making bond with the metal. So here we can say that in ionic electronic count, simply carbon with -2 acceleration state and contribute 4 electrons only. In neutral electronic count, only 2 electron contribution is there. Now just look at another possibility. Whenever carbon with the 3 other groups, now it is only making bond with the transition metal through 1 electron. In this case, in ionic electronic count, the acceleration state of the carbon is -2, and that's why, okay, so -1, and in this case it will contribute 2 electrons. And whenever if we consider neutral electronic count, only one single electron is making a coordination with the metal. That's why the contribution of trialkyl carbon, okay, trialkyl what we say, the carbon just say, so which is only contributing 1 electron. That's why we count 1 electron in neutral electron counting. Okay, I hope you understand. Now just look at some more important typical examples. So here, metal is connected with elemental nitrogen. Then in ionic electron count, what do you say? What is the formal charge of nitrogen? Simply -3, because nitrogen is more electronegative than D metal. Okay, so D black metal. That's why the 3 electrons of D metal electrons are dragged onto the nitrogen. That's why nitrogen with -3 acceleration state. In this consideration, -3 acceleration, 3 electrons from acceleration state and 3 electrons of nitrogen. So total 3 plus 3, 6 electron contribution in ionic electron count. Okay, in neutral electronic count, so we need to consider the number of electrons which are contributing to the coordination bond with metal. So only 3 electrons are contributing. Here 3 electrons is the total valency electronic count should be considered in counting total valency electronic count on the complex. Okay, so like that we need to go with it. Now just take the examples. So here, for example, molecular hydrogen. So it is molecular hydrogen which is making a coordination bond with the metal. Then what is the contribution of H2, all molecular hydrogen, towards the total electronic count? What do you say? Simply, we know that hydrogen having only 1 electron in its 1s orbital, right? And these two electrons are making bond. These 2 electrons are making sigma bond. Now, these 2 electrons of sigma bond is coordinating with the metal, right? So, 2 electrons are coordinating with the metal. In this case, the total number of contribution from this molecular hydrogen equals to 2. Okay, and is there any charge? No, because the pair of electrons are coordinating with the metal. So the formal charge is 0. Got it? Now just check the another case. For example, if hydrogen, elemental hydrogen directly coordinate with the metal, then what is the electron contribution from this hydrogen? Simply, we know that hydrogen is more electronegative than transition metals. In this case, the D electron of the metal is dragged onto the hydrogen, and hydrogen bears -1 acceleration state. That's why it will contribute 2 electrons in ionic electron count with the formal acceleration state -1. If we count through the neutral electronic count, so the how many number of electrons hydrogen can be contribute? Only 1 electron can be contribute, and the formal acceleration state on the hydrogen is 0. Got it? Now just consider the what we say, the bridge, hydrogen bridge. Okay, if hydrogen connects with 2 metals, then what you say here? What is the charge of hydrogen? So simply, hydrogen can make coordination with the metal through only 1 electron. In that case, so in ionic electronic count, the hydrogen should always bear -1 acceleration state only. Just remember that. Okay, so the formal acceleration state of hydrogen is -1, right? And it can coordinate with the 2 metals. Okay, so for each of the metal, hydrogen is contributing 1 electron. Okay, so that's why for the in total, the bridged hydrogen is contributing 2 electrons to the 2 metals. Okay, for each of the metal, 1 electron is contributed. So don't get the confusion. So just have the concept on what we say, the number of valency electrons which are going to make a bond with the transition metal. That should be considered. Okay, now just look at the halogen here. For example, the terminal halogen is connected with the metal. Okay, so in this case, we know that halogen is more electronegative. That's why the electron is dragged onto the halogen. Now just look at the valency electrons of the halogen. I already told you that it is very important to look at the valency electronic configuration of the ligands. So each halogen having valency electronic configuration as Ns2, Np5. Okay, now just fill up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here we have only one unpaired electron, and I told you that if the ligands coordinate with the metal through unpaired electrons, then the ligands will get the acceleration state simply equals to the number of unpaired electrons which are contributing to the total valency electrons. So here the halogen always has acceleration state -1 only. So here in ionic electron count, the total electron contribution is equals to 2 electrons with the formal acceleration state is -1 on the halogen. For example, if we go with a neutral electronic count, in this case halogen is coordinating with the metal through one unpaired electron only. That's why the electron contribution is 1 electron, and here there is no formal acceleration state. Okay, in neutral method we should not consider the acceleration states. We need to consider the number of electron contributions only. Got it? Yeah. Now just look at the bridge here. Metal, halogen, right? So in this case we can say in ionic electron count, halogen always has the -1 formal acceleration state. Okay, right. And in the next case we can say that each halogen is coordinated with the metal. In this case each halogen contribute 2 electrons to the metal, because here halogen is having the lone pair of electrons. We can say here these are three lone pair of electrons are present on the halogen. Okay, so in this case 2 electrons contributed to the metal, 2 electrons contributed to the metal with the formal acceleration state -1. In this case we can say that total 4 electrons are contributed from the bridged metal with the bridged halogen with the formal acceleration state -1, and for each of the metal it contributes 2 electrons with the formal acceleration state -1. Okay, right. Now just look at the if the same halogen is coordinated with the 3 metals. Okay, so in this case the formal acceleration state of halogen is always -1, right? And then the contribution for the each metal and halogen is equals to 2 electrons. So total 6 electron contribution is there with that μ3 bridging of halogen. Okay, now just look at the next typical example here. So just have the concept. If you have this concept, so you know you need not to remember the table of ligand electron contributions. Okay, now just look at metal if connected with alkoxy group. Then here just look at the oxygen. So in this case oxygen, just look at the valency electronic configuration of oxygen. Here Ns2, Np4. So 4 electrons are filled like this. Okay, right. In this, 1 electron is involved in the making of sigma bond with another alkyl group. Then only 1 electron is there. So this 1 electron is coordinated with the 1 electron of d orbital of the metal. So here we know that oxygen is more electronegative. Then this electron is dragged onto the oxygen, and oxygen with -1 acceleration state. In ionic electron count, the alkoxy group contribute 2 electrons to the total electronic count and with the formal acceleration state -1. Got it? Now just take the another example. Here, for example, so here we have 2 metals, right? And here oxygen is coordinated with the two metals. In this case, what you say? So simply, if the alkyl group is there on the oxygen, then only one unpaired electron is there. In this case, the oxygen always with -1 oxidation state. Okay, so the formal charge on the oxygen is -1, and you can see oxygen is connecting with the metal with through one unpaired electron, that means 2 electrons, and here through the 2 electrons, one unpaired electron and one of this metal. So total 4 electron contribution is there for that alkoxy group. Okay, right. So simply in ionic electronic method, so the alkoxy group, that is mu2 bridged alkoxy group, contribute 4 electrons with the formal oxidation state -1. Okay, right. And now just take the another example here. So if the same oxygen coordinates with 3 metals, now what you say? Okay, so the formal oxidation state in oxygen is always -1 whenever oxygen is connected with one sigma bond of alkyl or any other group. So in this case, oxygen with -1 formal charge, and each coordination with 2 electrons, 2 electrons, 2 electrons and 2 electrons. So total 6 electrons in ionic electron count. Okay, so in the neutral electronic count, simply 3 electrons, because here is a 1 and here is a 1, here is a 1, like that. Okay, so just remember that case. And now next look at if the metal is connected with oxygen or peroxide like this. What do you say? Here oxygen with -1 charge and oxygen with -1 charge. So total -2 formal charge on the given O2 peroxide ligand, and each oxygen contribute 2 electrons. So the total electron contribution is 4 electron in the ionic electronic count. Okay, right. And now just look at another case. If only one single oxygen is connected or coordinated with the metal, then what is the formal charge of the oxygen? Now just look at the valency here, NS2 and NP4. In this case, you can see we have 2 unpaired electrons. So these 2 unpaired electrons are in the making of coordination bond with the metal. So -2 oxidation state on the oxygen, and here the oxygen contribute 4 electrons. Okay, oxygen contribute 4 electrons. For example, if it is with 3 bonds, then here the formal oxidation state always with -2, but the electron contribution is 6 electrons through lone pair of electrons. Okay, right. Now take another examples. So just don't get the confusion, just look at the valency electrons and how many unpaired electrons are coordinated and how many lone pairs electrons are coordinated. Based on that, you can find oxidation states and number of electron contributions in ionic electron count. Okay, right. Now just look at here, metal if coordinate with trialkyl amine. Now just look at the nitrogen here. So nitrogen valency NS2, NP3. So 3 unpaired electrons are there. Now S orbital is having one paired electron. Okay, one pair of electrons. So here these 3 unpaired electrons are in the making of 3 sigma bonds with alkyl carbons. Okay, so here we have only one lone pair of electron. That's why the trialkyl amine coordinate with the metal in transition metal complexes through its one unpaired electron. Okay, that's why here we can say that the electron contribution is 2, and the here you can say what is the charge. Already I told you that if ligand contribute its electrons as paired electrons, in that case 0 oxidation state. If the ligand contribute or make a coordination with unpaired electrons, then the formal oxidation can be seen. So the formal oxidation is 0 and the total contribution is 2 electrons from its pair of electrons of that s orbital of nitrogen. Okay, so like this here, whenever the ligand is neutral, so there is no specification or a specific difference from that what we say, ionic electronic count and neutral electronic count. So in these cases, most of the aspirants gets confusion. So just look at the valency electrons of the ligand and which electrons, unpaired electrons or paired electrons, which are coordinating with the metal. Based on that, you can decide oxidation state of the ligand and contribution of that ligand to the metal complexes. Okay, now just look at another example here. For example, if metal coordinate with nitrogen here, so imido bond. In this case, what is the oxidation state of nitrogen? This is the question, right? And what is the contribution of nitrogen? So to give answer for this, we need to look at the nitrogen valency again. Here NS2 and NP3, right? In this NP3, one electron is making a sigma bond with alkyl group. Here we have only two unpaired electrons. So these two unpaired electrons are making coordination with the transition metal. So here the oxidation state of nitrogen is -2, right? Whenever the oxidation state is -2, the total electronic contribution equals to 4, because the 2 electrons from the nitrogen and the 2 electrons from this oxidation state. So total 4 electron contribution from this nitrogen with the formal oxidation state -2. Okay, now just take the another example where the nitrogen with a triple bond, right? So which is in linear shape. In this case, you can see only one alkyl group. Okay, so one alkyl group is there making up the sigma bond, and two unpaired electrons are coordinated, right? That's why -2 on this, and the pair of electron also making a coordination with the metal. In this case, no formal oxidation state, right? So that's why total 6 electron contribution from this double bonded alkyl amine, and where the formal oxidation state is -2.